Have a newborn child that she does not know about.
It seems like this never ever met. Every one of them just has one secret. Like I'm always waiting for one person to drop their secret. But before we go ahead and talk about the episode 2 of Never, they never ever met. Welcome guys to my channel. Like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Now let's go ahead and talk about the episode 2. You know the show is about people that have not they've just been chatting online and come together in this house to see how they'll go forward in their relationship. Now, the first couple I want to talk about in this episode 2 is one couple I still had to question myself so many times how this couple would work, as in how this coupling worked out for them. Because they have been online dating for 4.5 years. When I first saw it, I asked myself, how do you date somebody online for 4.5 years without meeting? It's not possible. I felt like it was more as a passing time, like when they feel bored in their normal life, it's like a getaway from their normal life. They have this online relationship, they don't have to put too much energy. That is how I saw their relationship, but they are on the show to go forward, and I knew that 4.5 years is disastrous. A lot of secrets will have to become or to be in between them, which was also said in last week's episode 1, where we saw Charlie announced or kind of confessed to Gerard that she has a 6 month old baby, and also all her children combined is four. She has never ever, for the 4.5 years they've been dating, she has never ever told him that she had a child. Now to find out that there's a 6 month old and there are three others, making it four. I was like, do I think, yes, last week's episode, I was like, do I think this relationship is going to go forward? Then coming in today's episode, we are seeing that he said, okay, I also have my own confession. And I was like, okay, what could this be? Just for him to be like smiling and say, okay, I can't get upset with you because I also have a 1 month old baby. I'm like, oh my God, this is messy. And not just one, a 1 month old baby, he has two children, like the 1 month and another child. That's two. Combined together, the two of them already have 6 kids. I don't know how they want to deceive themselves along the way, but I don't think they would be willing to all of a sudden you went from two children to having six, or for Charlie having from four children to having six. I feel like this moment they're just trying to enjoy the bubble, enjoy themselves, because I feel like by the time they get back to reality of life, I don't think they are really that, especially when they are newborns. The other one is 6 months, and this one has is he's has Charlie's child is 6 months, his child is 1 month, so fresh off the bat. So do I think they're gonna make it? Do I think this relationship is gonna take the test of the kids? For now, they are making it feel as if they can continue, but who knows? Who knows? Now we also let's talk about Ashley and Elvin. And during the night, Elvin went to Ashley's bed to, like, I want to cuddle you. You understand? Yes, we're not going into the deep end like we're having, we're sexing, but he said he wanted to cuddle, let him just feel that connection between the both of them. And she was like pushy. I understand she said she had a health issue, which the doctor like told her that if she values her life, she has to change a lot of her lifestyle. I do understand that part, but I don't understand where changing your lifestyle means you do not want to be intimate with with your partner, even if it's as much as sleeping. Like he said, let's sleep in the couch together so that we can cuddle. I don't know how changing your lifestyle to live a long life affects you deciding to cuddle with your partner. That part was where she lost me. I understand if you have to change your diet, the way you live your life, that's understandable. But going to the extent of, oh, your intimacy, how you have intimacy when you know, I don't think when they said if you want to live a long life, it actually involved whether you're going to be intimate with your partner or how intimate you're going to be with your partner or the way you're going to be intimate with your partner. I don't think it involves that. I think that's she problem. I think that's an Alicia's problem, not the sickness problem or whatever heart and health issues she had. I don't think that is the problem of it. I think it's Alicia herself that decided that, you know what, there's comfortability. I believe that maybe she felt comfortable in herself now, and having nothing, not having to do that for a while, because she said this is 2022 and we're in 2025. That's 3 years along the way. So I believe she's healthy now. I just feel like maybe she has felt so comfortable in that lifestyle, not having to do something, and now realizing that she has to be intimate with somebody, her body is like, I don't want that. Is that the situation? And I love that Elvin was like, okay, I understand you, I respect you, I'm just gonna give you your time. Like, he respected that. I love that for him. Now, the next day, they had their very first activities, and they were going to do the activity was an intimacy activities and boundaries. I did like this activity because it had to teach you about intimacy, also had to teach you about boundaries, also had to teach you about yes or no in a relationship, because so many people will be thinking that just because you're in a relationship, everything has to be yes by me or by you. You get. So I love that they did that, that you had to ask your partner, should I touch you? Should I hold you? And you had to have the response from your partner, yes or no, to do what you had to do. So I loved that situation. Now, the first couple I'm going to talk about when this activity was going on and I felt a certain kind of way was Chris and Elvis. Chris and Elvis. We know Chris and I remembered Chris was from another show, Ready to Love, also an own show, which was 2 seasons ago. Yeah, I think 2 seasons ago, because I did watch him in his season. Yeah. So now he's with Alexis. I'm very bad with pronouncing her name. Alexis. He's with Alexis on the show. Now, when they were having this intimacy stuff, of course, they had to, before you paint any part of your partner's body, you had to ask for permission and you had to hear a yes from the person before you painted that place. Now, Alexis decided to throw that off the window and just decided to do what she wanted to do, paint where she wanted to paint, touch where she wanted to touch. And at the end of the day, when she came out with whatever she painted, it was, she had a big hand stamp on his body, his chest, his trousers, his down there, right? And she was like, yeah, that's to put a stamp on my name. And she put a big spelling of her name on his back. No, on his chest, sorry, rather, on his chest, Alexis. She was like, the reason why I did that is so that everybody will know he's my man. Already, that was giving me that she's a very controlling person. I understand you want to show and let everybody know that that's your man, but I think, in my own opinion, there is letting people know that this is your man, and just being like so controlling. And she always wants to have her way. That is that is not a good thing to always have when you're in a relationship with somebody. Always wanting to have your way. It's never possible. But she always wanted to have a way. When she did not ask, she never asked for permission for one thing, for 1 minute during all the time she was touching up on him. And she was like, you know what? Um, it's not necessary. And I think that is necessary. I do like this exercise because, like I said, a lot of people be forgetting that no, even if we're in a relationship, there are still supposed to be boundaries. There's still supposed to be asked, like questions being asked, like, oh, are you interested? Like, do you want me? People just think automatically you're in a relationship, everything goes. No. So even when you're not in the mood, you know what? But Alexis had so much issue with that. Then when Chris had to do hers, I remember he's a very petty person from the previous show, Ready to Love. I did watch Ready to Love. I watched his season, so I remember that he's a very petty person. When he was doing his own painting, Chris, in return, decided to, at her back, draw a very big stop to let her know that, you know what, this your controlling attitude is not working out for me. I don't like it. And I already feel like that is going to be a problem for them in their relationship. He's one person that doesn't like being told what to do, and she's one person that doesn't like accepting any person telling her what to do. They Would they work out? I don't know. For somebody that doesn't like being told what to do, and we always feel like you're trying to control me, and the other person doesn't like always like telling people what to do, always likes being in control. What I say goes, right? The road for those two is very, I'm not gonna lie, it's very, very long, because we also saw them after the event. They they sat down together and were talking about it, and you can really see the rift between them. She was like, you she didn't ask for permission, was like he didn't ask for permission when he was touching her labs, and he was not even sexual enough. And I'm like, you didn't ask for permission, but you are angry he didn't ask for permission to touch your legs. That is double standards in my own opinion. Very big double standard. And he was like, you know what? I didn't like the fact that you didn't ask for permission at all, touching up on my body, putting paint all over my body. You didn't ask for permission. And already, there's already this rift because he's telling her, and you will see that he's telling her what he feels. And she is like, yeah, so you have a problem with me. I don't think those two are gonna connect, especially when he was talking with Gerard and being like he has always hate controlling situations because he has had so many step moms and so many stepdads, and he has always seen them always trying to control him. So it's a him problem. He has had that trauma of control, and he hates, absolutely hates that situation. To now find out that the girl he's with likes control, for someone that has a trauma from childhood, and I don't think he has received therapy for it because the way he was speaking, I don't think he has seek help for it. Now to now be with someone that controlling, I'm gonna place my bet on it that Alexis and Chris are not gonna live here together. They're gonna go home separately. I bet everything I have on it. Now we also have, after the whole intimacy stuff, during the intimacy stuff, let's talk about Alicia and Evan also before we go ahead and talk about the event that happened after the intimacy stuff. Alicia and Elvin, during the intimacy stuff, she was no, I love the way asking consent from each other. Should I touch you here? Should I touch you here? But when it was Elvin's time to draw on Alicia, she was kind of withdrawn. When he was at her back trying to draw on her, he was like, oh, that. I'm like, I don't understand. Maybe, except the only reason excuse I'm gonna give um Alicia for trying, for feeling a certain kind of way when Elvin was drawing on her, is maybe she was feeling pain. Maybe that drawing he's drawing on her body was painful. That's the only excuse, because she made it look as if that's a big thing being done on her body. Like I felt like she felt a little bit of disgust when he was drawing on her body. I'm gonna be honest. That's the way I felt. Now, after the event, they go in, she washes up, and of course, they told them during the day that one couple would be in charge of food for the whole couple for a day. So one couple will cook breakfast, lunch, and dinner for the whole house for a day, because they wanted to use it to see how intimate and contact and compatibility between the couples. Like, cooking together is one huge thing, is a very huge thing. So they wanted to see how compatible they are. So they had to cook together for the whole house. So this period, I think it was for, I've forgotten the couples. They were cooking, and Alicia walks into the room and was like, are you cooking the greens with vegan butter? And the lady was like, no, no more butter. She was like, oh, please, vegan butter. Please don't put. And she was kind of making demands. And I understand where Alicia was coming from, because my health is important to me. And if I eat these things, I get to get side effects with those stuffs. But I felt like the approach and the manner she did ask the question was not nice, because she made it look like, oh, you have to do this, oh, you have to do that. Alicia was coming like, okay, don't put too much fries. Like, it felt like she was talking to her subordinates on how to get her meals. fights. So for me, I didn't like that. For me, I didn't like that at all. I didn't like that at all. And the couples had a clash, and she went back to report to Alvin, like, oh, he was shouting on me. I think like she does a lot of deflecting. She went in there with an authoritative voice, and when he got pissed off and started shouting, she went back and be like, oh, you're shouting on me, you're shouting I'm like, you don't remember how you were being authoritative when you were asking for your demands. Asking for her demands is not wrong, guys, don't get me wrong. Asking for what you know is beneficial for your health is not wrong, but it depends on your manner of approach, the way you say it. The way you say things matter. The way you say things matter, and I think that the way she said it was wrong. Now she was telling Elvin. Everyone's like, with the way she talks, Elvin knows her very well. Everyone's like, ah, yeah, I'm pretty sure she was the aggressor because with the way she always says things, the way she always makes her point, it's pretty sure that she was the aggressor. But I also felt like I love that he didn't say that to her front, because if he had said that to her front, I would have been very pissed off. I'm glad that it was only at his confessionals that he did say that. But they ended up having a very big fight because he has been telling her that he wanted to do yoga with her, and she was like, you know what, I don't like waking up on time. I like waking up when my body wants me to wake up. All those kind of things. Just for him to then catch her later in today's episode doing yoga with somebody else. I too will be upset because as a couple, we're trying to be intimate, we're trying to be close, we're trying to get each other to know each other better. I asked to do something that I love so that we can see whether we can connect on that. And you say no, your body and everything. You give several excuses just for me to see you doing that same thing with somebody. I will feel a certain kind of way. So I understood where um Alvin was coming from. I understood where he was pissed off that she was having doing yoga with someone else. I did understand. And the fact that he was trying to calmly tell her, like, you know what, I didn't like that you were doing yoga with someone. And she was like, she now said, maybe it's your insecurities. Oh my God. I was like, Alicia, if it was in insecurities, he would have been yelling or he would have kept quiet about it and put it into his heart and start misbehaving. But he came and said it. Even if it's an insecurity is meant to be told out so that you can deal with it and move on. He told you so that you guys could deal with it and move on with your life, but you felt, no, you're just going to put it to his face that he's insecure. I don't think Alicia is intimately connected to our Elvin. I don't see that. All her actions and everything does not give into him. And later when he decided that, okay, I want to have a conversation with you about you saying I was insecure. I didn't like that. It was not insecurity. I just felt like we're a couple, and I felt that you did not validate my feelings that I felt over the fact that I was asking you to do yoga, but you went to do it to somebody else. It's just something that I felt, and I felt like I had to tell you. Then this lady went ahead and said something else apart from the fact that she said he's insecure. She said she was feeling unsafe with the way he was talking to her. And that the way, see, I'm beginning to love myself, Alvin. The way he like, okay, if you're feeling unsafe, I'm gonna leave, which is true. A lady tells you that she's feeling unsafe with having a conversation with you. Of course, what you're gonna do is walk out. Maybe your emotions is too strong for her during that conversation, or your energy was too strong. I love the way he walked out, even if it was angrily, but he walked out because at the end of the day, she was feeling unsafe with the conversation. So why the heck would you want to continue a conversation that you were feeling unsafe? Because the guy was walking out, she was like, let us have this conversation. And I'm like, you said you were feeling unsafe. He's trying to respect the fact that you said you were feeling unsafe to walk out, probably to cool down and cool off. And you're still trying to say, why are you walking now? We're supposed to have a conversation now. Why the hell is Alicia contradicting herself? You said you felt a certain kind of way. You said you were feeling unsafe and decided that, you know what, let me leave you to feel safe. Now you're finding it out as an issue. I just feel like I said, it's valid enough to say she doesn't really like Alvin. I'm not gonna lie, I don't see her liking Alvin. But before we go, we're just going to talk briefly about the fact that we also find out that another couple be lying. I can't wait for next week's episode when we find out that, yeah, I really can't wait for next week's episode when we find Tatiana and Clive. Um, to find out that Clive has a baby, a newborn baby, a newborn baby. Man, this couples be on some lying things. And the way he's cuddly, it looks as if they are the best couple right now. Clive is, Tatiana in her head is thinking like Clive is this good guy. Clive is a nice guy. She'll be disappointed to find out that Clive has a newborn baby. They all had what to say when Charlie and Gerard exposed themselves. But at least Charlie and Gerard, from the onset, were truthful with themselves. That's the part I like. That at least they were truthful with themselves from the beginning. Clive is riding on this love thing with them and is scared of telling Tatiana that I have a newborn baby. Well, we're gonna see how that is gonna play out because probably next week he might tell her, he might not. We don't know, but we'll see you guys same time next week for to another episode of They Never Ever Met. Don't forget to like, comment, and click on the subscription button down below to subscribe. Have a nice day, guys.